The cold black of space stretched endlessly, dotted with distant stars that shone like tiny beacons in the night. Earth's fleet, hidden for centuries, had finally moved. Captain June of the warship Invictus stood on the bridge, his hands gripping the control panel as the fleet prepared to leave the familiar orbit of Mars. He looked at the viewscreen, where smaller ships lined up behind the Invictus like obedient children following their leader. The human fleet, long underestimated, was about to make its mark on the galaxy. Commander Hannah, sitting beside June, adjusted her headset and checked the systems of the ship. The hum of engines and the soft blinking of control lights filled the bridge. Humanity had prepared quietly for this moment, perfecting ships, weapons, and tactics far beyond what the galaxy believed possible. They were ready, and yet, the weight of the unknown pressed heavily on them. The warship's communications officer, Minsuk, received a final signal from Earth Command. "All units report readiness," he said clearly, his voice steady. Despite the calm tone, the tension was thick. Every officer knew the significance of this mission. They were entering forbidden space, territory watched and controlled by the Galactic Council, a vast governing body of alien species that had long dismissed Earth as insignificant. The fleet surged forward, slipping past the outer defenses without detection. Outside, the stars stretched and blurred as the ships accelerated into faster-than-light speed. The crew watched in awe and silent fear. This was a journey into danger, into a galaxy that had never known humanity as a serious threat. Captain June's mind drifted briefly to the news reports and history lessons that painted the Council as unbeatable. Entire fleets from multiple worlds had failed in past confrontations, but humans were different. They adapted quickly, learned fast, and fought with a courage that was unpredictable. That unpredictability was now their greatest weapon. A soft beep drew his attention. Sensors had detected an unknown presence ahead. The crew tensed. Hannah leaned forward, scanning the readouts. "It's a patrol vessel," she reported, her voice low but firm. "Council forces. They haven't seen us yet." June nodded. "Keep silent. Observe. Do not engage unless necessary. We are not here for a fight yet. We are here to announce our arrival." The fleet continued its approach, silent and precise. Every human officer on board understood their role. Pilots prepared for evasive maneuvers, engineers ran final checks on weapons and shields, and communication teams remained alert for any sign of interception. This was more than a mission. It was the opening act of humanity's rise in the galaxy. Suddenly, the patrol vessel changed course, moving toward the Invictus with a pattern of caution. It was small, slow, and underestimated humanity's technological advances. Captain June's eyes narrowed. "Prepare a warning transmission," he ordered. "Let them know we are here, and we will not be ignored." Minsuk keyed in the message, a simple but firm declaration in the universal language used by the Council. "This is Earth's fleet. We are no longer hidden. Withdraw or face the consequences." Hannah watched as the transmission left their systems. The patrol vessel paused, seemingly confused. The humans had never sent such a direct message before. Usually, alien forces expected silence, fear, and hesitation. Humans had given none. This was the first shock the galaxy would feel. Minutes passed, feeling like hours. Then the patrol vessel sent a reply. It was a formal warning, demanding humans retreat immediately. Captain June smiled slightly. This was exactly what they expected. "Ignore it," he said calmly. "We continue our course." The fleet moved forward, entering deeper into forbidden space. Outside the shields and hull, the stars stretched, and the vacuum of space waited like a silent judge. On board, humans worked together like a single organism. Every eye was focused, every mind alert. The crew knew that once they were detected fully, the Council would respond in force, and the galaxy would finally realize Earth was not weak. Hours passed. The patrol vessel, unable to challenge the human fleet, sent another message, a call for reinforcements. This was the first ripple of panic that would soon spread across the Council. Humanity had shown capability, courage, and technology far beyond what was expected. Captain June looked around the bridge. Everyone, remember this moment. We are the first to step into a galaxy that doubted us. We carry the hopes of Earth, and we carry the future of humanity. Hannah nodded, her hands steady on the controls. We are ready, Captain. No matter what comes, we are ready. Beyond the fleet, the Council's communication networks buzzed with alerts. Leaders across multiple worlds stared at the reports. A human fleet, unseen for centuries, had appeared in the heart of their controlled space. Panic rose quickly. The Council convened emergency meetings, debating how to respond to a force that did not act like any other species they had encountered. Back on the Invictus, the human crew remained calm, disciplined, and ready. They were aware of the tension building across the galaxy, yet focused on their own mission. The human fleet continued its approach, a silent wave moving through forbidden space. Each ship carried officers and crew trained for this moment. Each ship a symbol of Earth's ingenuity and determination. As they neared a Council monitoring station, Captain June gave orders to remain hidden until the final approach. The sensors picked up faint signals of Council warships moving toward the patrol vessel. Humanity's presence was now known. The first ripple of fear had begun. The humans would not strike first unless necessary, but they were ready for whatever came. Minsuk kept scanning for signals. They are sending more ships, Captain. A small fleet, nothing major yet. June nodded. Good. Let them come. They will see that we are prepared. We are not a minor planet to be dismissed. We are Earth and we will be heard. Hours melted into tense silence. The Invictus led the fleet, moving carefully, each human officer aware of the importance of timing. The Council ships approached, curious and cautious. They did not know what awaited them. Humanity had prepared for centuries, and now, they were about to show the galaxy a new reality. The first Council scouts arrived near the edge of the fleet's formation. The humans held their fire, observing the alien ship's movements. This was a game of patience, a test of courage. The patrol vessels and scouts hesitated, unsure of how to engage humans who acted without fear and with unmatched strategy. Captain June took a deep breath and looked at the stars ahead. The galaxy had ignored Earth for too long. Now, the human fleet was emerging, prepared to challenge the Council. The first part of humanity's rise in the galaxy had begun. The galaxy would quake, and the Council would finally understand that humans were not to be underestimated. The humans had arrived, and the stars themselves seemed to hold their breath in anticipation of what was to come. The human fleet moved quietly through the black expanse, each ship a silent promise of Earth's strength. Captain June watched the view screen as distant Council scouts approached, unaware of the power hidden in the human ships. Hannah stood at his side, her eyes sharp as she monitored the sensors. Every signal, every movement mattered. Humanity had waited centuries for this moment, and now they had to act with both caution and courage. Minsuk, at the communication console, picked up a faint transmission. Captain, the patrol ships are calling for reinforcements. They don't understand what they face. He shook his head slightly, a mix of awe and determination in his expression. June nodded. Let them come. We will not act hastily. Our purpose is to announce our presence, not destroy immediately. The human fleet continued toward the Council-controlled sector. Outside, the stars stretched like lines across a dark canvas as the fleet approached faster than light speed. Crew members remained focused, aware that any mistake could lead to disaster. Yet, the quiet determination on each face spoke volumes about the strength and courage of humans. Aboard the Invictus, pilot Jiho maneuvered one of the smaller escort ships. He glanced at his squadron, each pilot ready for immediate action. Stay sharp. Sensors show multiple incoming Council ships. We do not know their numbers yet, but we must be prepared for anything. Hannah monitored the readings carefully. They are cautious. They expect hesitation, but we show none. Their caution works in our favor. The first wave of Council reinforcements appeared, small but disciplined. They moved to block the fleet, a warning of the might behind them. Captain June remained calm. Maintain formation. Let them see our strength without revealing all of our capabilities. Humanity will not strike first unless provoked, but we are ready for full engagement if needed. As the Council ships closed in, one of their larger vessels attempted to scan the Invictus. Sensors indicated advanced technology, but slow and predictable movements. Hannah smiled faintly. They underestimate us. As always, Minsuk transmitted a message, simple but firm. Earth's fleet has entered forbidden space. We are here. Retreat if you value your lives. The Council ship hesitated, confused. Such directness was rare in the galaxy, where diplomacy often masked fear. Humanity had no need for deception. Captain June's voice remained steady. Continue our course. Keep all systems ready. Observe and adapt. Jiho led his squadron in a series of controlled maneuvers, demonstrating speed and coordination far beyond what the Council expected. The patrol ships tried to react, but they moved slowly, unable to anticipate human tactics. The fleet's presence alone sent a ripple of fear through the Council's network, a warning that humans were no ordinary species. Hours passed. Council reinforcements continued to arrive, and tension grew in the human command center. Despite the unknown, the crew worked as one, a single unit bound by discipline and courage. Captain June's words resonated in every officer's mind. Humanity would no longer hide, and they would fight if necessary. A Council scout attempted to approach the fleet from a hidden vector. Hannah spotted it immediately. Captain, an unknown ship is trying to flank us. June considered the options. Let it come closer. We will show our strength, not recklessly, but clearly. We want them to understand our capabilities without unnecessary destruction. The scout's movements became hesitant as it encountered a carefully timed human response. Drones deployed from the Invictus intercepted the vessel's sensors, temporarily blinding it. The Council ship struggled to regain control, and the fleet held its ground without firing a single shot. Humanity's tactics were precise, confident, and terrifying to the unprepared alien observers. Minsuk reported multiple signals of confusion from Council communication networks. They are calling for more reinforcements, Captain. They don't know how to handle us. June nodded, his eyes fixed on the stars ahead. This is exactly what we expected. They cannot comprehend human strategy because they have never faced it before. The fleet continued its journey deeper into forbidden space. Jiho's squadron intercepted minor patrols, displaying coordinated maneuvers that confused and scared Council pilots. They did not strike lethally. They showed humans' precision, discipline, and ability to dominate without unnecessary aggression. Each small victory, each moment of control, sent waves of fear through the Council's ranks. On board the Invictus, Captain June and Hannah discussed tactics. We need to remain careful, Hannah said. They will respond with full force eventually. June agreed. Patience is our ally. Let them panic. Let them show weakness. Humanity's patience is as much a weapon as our fleet. By the end of the human fleet's first day in forbidden space, Council forces had been pushed into disarray. Panic spread across multiple systems as reports of the human fleet's movements circulated. Earth, long ignored and dismissed, had made its presence known. Humanity had taken the first steps toward asserting itself in a galaxy that had never feared them before. The night cycles aboard the Invictus brought a quiet reflection among the crew. Pilots rested briefly, engineers checked systems, and officers prepared for what lay ahead. The galaxy beyond remained a vast, unknown expanse, but humans faced it with courage and unity. Each star they passed was a reminder that Earth was no longer hidden, that humanity had the power to shape the course of the galaxy. Captain June looked at the crew assembled on the bridge. Remember, we are here not just as warriors, but as the voice of humanity. We show the galaxy that we are strong, intelligent, and ready. We will not be ignored. Hannah nodded, her eyes shining with determination. The Council will learn that humans are not weak. We will adapt, fight, and survive, no matter what comes. Minsuk continued monitoring communications, picking up signals from distant Council systems. Panic was spreading slowly but surely. The humans had not yet fired their main weapons, but their presence alone had caused confusion and fear. The galaxy would remember this moment. As the fleet prepared to advance further, Captain June allowed himself a small moment of satisfaction. Humanity had taken the first step. The first warning had been sent. The galaxy would tremble, and the Council would begin to realize that Earth's fleet was unlike anything they had encountered before. Every officer aboard the human ships felt the same quiet thrill, the knowledge that they were part of history in the making. In the darkness of space, the human fleet moved forward, silent but powerful. Each ship, each crew member, each officer carried the hopes and dreams of Earth. They were ready for the challenges ahead. The Council could not have imagined the strength and courage of humans. And as the stars stretched infinitely around them, the human fleet pressed on, a force that would shake the galaxy to its core. The human fleet had been moving through forbidden space for days, showing no sign of weakness. Captain June stood on the bridge of the Invictus, his eyes scanning the viewscreen where distant Council ships could be seen forming a larger fleet. The Council had finally realized that humans were not to be ignored, and their fear had turned into organized response. Yet humans were ready. Every officer, every pilot, every engineer knew their role. Commander Hannah moved between stations, giving quiet instructions and checking the status of weapons and shields. The human fleet had already demonstrated that it could outmaneuver the Council's patrols, but the bigger challenge lay ahead. The Council's main forces were approaching, their ships large and armed with technology designed to overwhelm any opponent. The humans would have to fight smart, precise, and coordinated. Ji-ho, leading one of the fighter squadrons, spoke through the comms. "Captain, the Council's main fleet is forming a blockade. They are trying to corner us." June remained calm. "Keep formation. Do not engage unless necessary. Observe their patterns. They will make mistakes. Humans are patient, and patience is our strength." The Council ships moved into position, clearly confident in their numbers. However, their tactics were predictable. Humans had studied countless simulations and historical encounters. The Council had never faced an enemy that learned so quickly, adapted so fast, and acted with such unexpected strategy. Hannah adjusted the sensor arrays. "They are overextending their wings. If we position ourselves carefully, we can disrupt their formation without opening fire." June nodded. "Prepare the drones and decoys. We will make them think we have more ships than we actually do." Min-suk monitored communications from the Invictus. Council leaders were arguing with each other, confused by the unexpected behavior of the human fleet. Some advocated diplomacy, while others called for immediate attack. Their disorganization was the humans' advantage. June understood that victory was not just about firepower. It was about exploiting weakness in the enemy's command. Ji-ho's squadron moved as instructed, weaving in and out, creating false signals and decoy images. Council ships reacted, trying to intercept imaginary threats. The humans remained silent, observing how the enemy struggled with confusion. For the first time, the Council faced a species that did not panic, that did not follow predictable patterns, and that could strike where least expected. Then the first skirmish began. A small Council frigate attempted to flank the human fleet, moving toward the Invictus. Hannah spotted it immediately. "Captain, they are coming closer." June gave a calm nod. "Let them come. Keep the fleet ready but do not fire. We show strength before destruction." The frigate advanced, expecting hesitation from humans. Instead, it encountered precise maneuvering and sensor jamming. It became trapped between decoys and actual ships, confused and unable to escape. Ji-ho's squadron maintained pressure, simulating attacks without striking lethally. The human fleet had mastered the art of controlled intimidation. Min-suk sent another warning through the universal channel. "Council forces, withdraw immediately or face destruction. Earth's fleet is ready to defend itself." The Council vessel paused, unsure of the threat. It had not expected such clear communication and confident maneuvering. Humans were not attacking blindly. They were controlled, disciplined, and terrifying in their efficiency. Meanwhile, engineers on the Invictus worked tirelessly, monitoring energy levels, weapons readiness, and shields. Captain June walked among them briefly. Remember, we fight with our minds first. Our strength is not only in weapons but in strategy. Precision and patience are our greatest tools. As the day progressed, more council ships arrived. A small fleet of cruisers tried to press the humans, but they were met with the same calm, coordinated resistance. The council commanders could not understand why humans did not panic or scatter under pressure. Each movement was calculated, each maneuver predicted and countered. Hannah noted a pattern. Captain, the council fleet is divided. They are arguing on command priorities. We can exploit this. June considered the options. We will draw them into a trap. Let them believe they are pursuing us. The moment they overextend, we strike precisely. Humanity's strength is discipline and timing. Jiho's squadron executed a series of bait maneuvers, luring council cruisers into the fleet's chosen area. As the enemy moved in, drones and decoys created confusion. One cruiser tried to retreat but was intercepted by a combination of human ships that had predicted its path perfectly. It became clear to the council that humans could control the battlefield without chaos or hesitation. The first major confrontation between the fleets ended without a decisive attack, but the psychological victory belonged to humans. The council had underestimated them, and now their fear had turned into uncertainty. Across multiple systems, alerts and warnings spread. The council's authority was challenged for the first time by a species that refused to bow. On board the Invictus, Captain June addressed his crew. Today, we have shown the galaxy that humans are not to be ignored. This is only the beginning. We continue to move forward, prepared for what comes next. Every officer here is part of history. Remember that. Hannah watched the council fleet retreat slightly, regrouping after the skirmish. They are cautious now, Captain. They see that we are not ordinary opponents. June nodded. Yes, and they will continue to make mistakes. We remain ready, disciplined, and united. That is what makes us stronger. As night cycles began aboard the Invictus, the fleet maintained its alertness. Pilots rested but stayed ready, engineers checked systems repeatedly, and officers analyzed every movement of the council ships. Humanity's patience and discipline were unmatched, and the council had yet to see the full extent of their capabilities. Min-suk reported incoming signals from distant council networks. Panic was spreading. The humans had not yet unleashed their most powerful weapons, yet the effect on the enemy was clear. Fear and confusion rippled across the council ranks. Humanity's reputation as a force to be reckoned with was growing with every moment. Captain June looked at the stars beyond the fleet. Each passing system was a step closer to challenging the council fully. He knew the battles ahead would be harder, but humans were ready. They had trained, prepared, and waited for centuries for this chance. And now, they were proving that patience, intelligence, and courage could shake even the most powerful forces in the galaxy. The human fleet continued its steady advance, silent but powerful, each ship a symbol of Earth's ingenuity and determination. Council commanders watched helplessly, unable to comprehend a species that fought with discipline, strategy, and fearlessness. Humanity had made the first major stand, and the galaxy would never be the same. Captain June allowed a small smile. Today, humans had demonstrated that they could challenge the council. Tomorrow, they would show that they could lead. And as the stars stretched infinitely around them, the human fleet pressed on, ready to confront whatever awaited in the dark reaches of space, a force that the galaxy would soon learn to respect and fear. The human fleet had pressed deeper into council space, moving with careful precision. Captain June stood on the bridge of the Invictus, observing the council ships gathering ahead. This was the heart of their territory, the central command area, where the leaders and main forces were concentrated. The council had been shaken by the humans' previous actions, and their fleet now moved to confront the intruders directly. Commander Hannah reviewed sensor reports, noting the positions and formations of the enemy. Captain, their main command vessels are protected, but they are overconfident. They believe they can outnumber us and overwhelm our defenses. June nodded. They have yet to understand human strategy. We will use their confidence against them. Prepare the fleet for controlled engagement. We will strike precisely where it matters. Jiho and his squadron moved into position, ready to execute the first maneuvers of the planned attack. The smaller human ships scattered strategically, forcing council ships to divide their attention. Each human move was calculated, exploiting gaps and weaknesses in the enemy formation. The council, accustomed to predictable patterns, struggled to respond to the humans' unpredictable but disciplined tactics. Min-suk monitored communications and relayed messages from the council. Panic and confusion were evident. Some council leaders argued for withdrawal, while others demanded immediate engagement. This division played directly into humanity's hands. June understood that exploiting such fractures was as crucial as firepower in the battle to come. The first exchange of fire began with small council cruisers attempting to strike the human flanks. Hannah directed defensive maneuvers, intercepting attacks with shield adjustments and precise countermeasures. Human drones moved silently, disabling sensors and communications on enemy vessels without causing unnecessary destruction. It was a demonstration of control and intelligence rather than reckless aggression. Jiho's squadron executed a coordinated feint, drawing enemy cruisers into a trap set by larger human warships. The council ships, thinking they had an advantage, moved into a confined area. Then the Invictus launched a targeted strike on a key support vessel, disabling it quickly. The council realized too late that humans had predicted their moves perfectly. June addressed the bridge crew. Every movement we make teaches them the cost of underestimating us. Stay focused. Strike where necessary, but always with precision. Hannah guided the fleet through narrow space corridors near the council's central command. The humans moved like a single organism, coordinated and disciplined. Smaller vessels disrupted enemy formations while larger ships maintained their positions to control the battlefield. Each strike and maneuver was carefully calculated to minimize risk while maximizing impact. The council fleet attempted to regroup, but human tactics were relentless. Drones and decoys created illusions, making it appear as if the human fleet was larger than it actually was. Jiho's squadron moved with exact timing, creating openings that the larger human warships exploited. Council ships were forced into defensive positions, their confidence shaken. Min-suk received another transmission from a council commander. The message was frantic, demanding retreat or immediate surrender. June allowed a brief pause before responding. He transmitted a firm message. Earth's fleet is here to defend itself. Withdraw or face consequences. Humanity will not be intimidated. The psychological effect was immediate. Council commanders hesitated, unsure of how to act against an enemy that combined courage, discipline, and strategy. Humanity's confidence and control were a weapon as deadly as their armaments. As the battle continued, engineers aboard the Invictus monitored every system, ready to support weapons, shields, and propulsion. The human fleet's strength was not only in attack but in their ability to maintain coordination under pressure. Captain June walked among the crew, observing their calm determination. "Remember," he said quietly, "we fight with brains first. Discipline is our shield. Strategy is our sword." The human fleet pressed the attack on key council vessels, striking with precision and retreating when necessary to maintain formation and control. Jiho's squadron executed daring maneuvers, hitting enemy supply ships and retreating before counterattack. Each success increased the council's confusion and fear. They had never faced a species that combined patience, intelligence, and bravery so perfectly. Hannah noted a shift in the enemy's movements. "Captain, their main command ship is showing signs of hesitation. They are afraid to move, unsure of our true strength." June smiled faintly. "Good. We will exploit their fear. Continue precise maneuvers, maintain discipline, and strike decisively when opportunity arises." The human fleet's attack on the Council's central command area disrupted communications, disabled support vessels, and forced key ships into retreat. Even without destroying every ship, humans had demonstrated complete control of the battlefield. Council leaders now understood that humans were unpredictable, disciplined, and fearless. Min-suk monitored enemy transmissions, noting fear and confusion spreading across the Council network. Humans had not yet used their full weapon systems, yet the effect was clear. The psychological impact of Earth's fleet was profound. The galaxy had underestimated humanity, and now it was learning the truth. Captain June addressed his officers. "We have achieved significant control today, but the battle is not over. We continue forward, ready for any response. Humanity has shown strength, courage, and intelligence. We will continue to make the Council understand that Earth is no longer to be ignored." Hannah nodded, her hands steady on the control panel. "They will think twice before challenging us again. Today, humans have not only fought but shown that strategy, discipline, and courage are weapons in their own right." As the human fleet rested briefly in formation, pilots and crew prepared for the next movements. Each officer knew that the coming engagements would test their resolve further, but they were ready. The fleet had proven its capability, and Earth's name would now carry weight across the galaxy. The Invictus led the fleet, a symbol of human innovation and bravery. The Council's forces had been disrupted, their confidence shaken. Humanity's patience, intelligence, and precision had won the first major victory in the central sector. The galaxy now watched as humans pressed onward, ready to confront whatever came next with courage, strategy, and determination. Captain June looked out at the stars stretching infinitely ahead. The human fleet had made its mark. Today, Earth's fleet had shown that the galaxy could no longer ignore humanity. Tomorrow, they would continue to prove that humans were a force that combined intelligence, courage, and discipline, a force the Council had never expected and could no longer underestimate. The human fleet advanced steadily, moving through the central systems of the Council's territory. Captain June stood on the bridge of the Invictus, his eyes fixed on the distant formation of Council ships. The previous battles had shaken their confidence, and now the humans were pressing forward with calm precision. Every officer and crew member knew that this moment could define the future of Earth and its place in the galaxy. Commander Hannah monitored the sensors and tactical readouts. "Captain, their main forces are regrouping, but they are hesitant. They do not understand the full capability of our fleet." June nodded. "Good. Keep the fleet ready. Today, we show them that humanity is a force to be respected, not feared but never underestimated." The Invictus led the charge as smaller escort ships moved in coordinated patterns, disrupting the enemy formation. Jiho's squadron executed daring maneuvers, weaving through gaps in the Council fleet and creating confusion. Decoys and drones added to the illusion, making the humans seem more numerous than they actually were. Every move was designed to demonstrate intelligence, strategy, and control. Min Suk monitored communications, receiving frantic messages from the Council. Panic was spreading as commanders realized that humans fought with precision and discipline unlike any species they had encountered. The psychological impact of the humans' presence alone was profound. The Council fleet's cohesion was breaking, and hesitation replaced confidence. Captain June gave calm orders. "Maintain formation. Do not rush. The Council will make mistakes if we remain patient. Strike decisively only when the opportunity is perfect." Hannah guided the fleet carefully through a narrow region of space near the Council's primary command station. The human ships moved like a single organism, each member of the crew aware of their role. Drones and small fighters targeted weak points in the enemy fleet, disabling critical systems and creating openings without unnecessary destruction. Jiho led a squadron in a series of coordinated feints, drawing Council ships into traps set by the larger human vessels. The Council, expecting predictable patterns, fell easily into the human design zones. Each strike was precise, calculated to maximize impact while preserving the fleet's strength. The humans had mastered the art of controlled engagement. Min Suk relayed another transmission to the Council. "Earth's fleet demands recognition. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences. Humanity will defend itself with all skill and precision." The Council fleet hesitated. Confusion spread through their ranks. Some ships pulled back, unsure of how to respond. Others debated aggressive action, but their command was fractured. Captain June's strategy relied on this division. Patience, discipline, and timing were more effective than raw firepower. Humanity had learned to fight with the mind as well as with weapons. The battle continued with the human fleet taking careful but decisive actions. Engineers on the Invictus monitored energy, shields, and weapon systems constantly, ensuring that every strike was supported and every defense was ready. The crew moved with quiet determination, aware that their actions could change the balance of power in the galaxy. Hannah observed the Council fleet's behavior. They are fearful and hesitant. They have underestimated humans, and now their confusion is our advantage. June allowed himself a small smile. Yes, let them make mistakes. We continue to push forward, showing strength, intelligence, and resolve. Every move teaches the galaxy that humans are not a species to ignore. The human fleet pressed the attack, targeting supply lines, communication nodes, and key support ships. The Council's main command vessels were unable to respond effectively. Jiho's squadron executed precise attacks, striking and retreating before countermeasures could take effect. Every action was controlled, disciplined, and effective. Humanity's capability was now visible across the battlefield. Min-suk received more communications from the Council. Desperation was evident. Some leaders were calling for surrender or negotiation. The humans had not yet revealed their full arsenal, yet the effect was undeniable. Fear and respect were growing, and the Council was beginning to recognize that Earth's fleet was a force unlike any they had known. Captain June addressed the bridge crew. Today we secure a decisive presence in the heart of Council space. Humanity has shown courage, intelligence, and unity. We fight not for conquest alone, but to ensure Earth's place in the galaxy. Remember your discipline, maintain focus, and stay prepared for what comes next. Hannah guided the Invictus and the fleet through final tactical maneuvers, consolidating control over the region. Smaller human ships disrupted remaining Council patrols, creating a secure area for regrouping. Jiho's squadron remained in motion, ever ready for the next engagement. The human fleet's coordinated movements demonstrated complete control and mastery over the battlefield. The Council command center experienced chaos. Panic and uncertainty spread, as their assumptions about Earth and humanity were proven false. Their fleets were scattered, their confidence shattered, and their authority challenged. The psychological victory of the humans was complete, even before full-scale destruction occurred. Humanity had proven that strategy, patience, and courage were as formidable as any weapon. Captain June surveyed the stars ahead. Every system they passed was another step in securing humanity's place in the galaxy. Earth's fleet had demonstrated discipline, intelligence, and fearlessness. The Council had learned that humans could not be underestimated, and the galaxy would never view Earth in the same way again. Min-suk reported all systems stable and enemy activity decreasing. Captain, the Council is retreating. They are cautious now and unsure of how to proceed. June nodded. Good. We have shown them our strength. We continue our vigilance. Humanity has arrived, and we will not allow our presence to be ignored. Hannah and Jiho exchanged determined glances. The battles were not over, but today humans had made their mark. The fleet's courage, precision, and discipline had turned fear into respect. Every officer knew that Earth's place in the galaxy had changed forever. The human fleet moved onward, ready for any challenge, a symbol of Earth's ingenuity and courage, proving that the galaxy must now recognize humanity as a force to be respected, feared, and remembered.